Super Motocross schedule has finally been released, and there's a couple things that even confused myself. So, this is my deliberation.
What chance does a privateer have?
Welcome to Supercross.
What do you say to a factory ride?
I'm going to open with a prediction and a question for the viewers. Will Jet Lawrence be aboard a 250 factory HRC Honda or a 450 HRC Honda for the Super Motocross Championship in LA October 14th? Well, for me, it depends on how his outdoor motocross championship goes. If he is doing well, then it makes sense for him to try to make more money and race the 450, because then if he jumps down to the 250, I just think that publicly, PR-wise, it's not going to sit as well if you've got the guy that's winning the series and he decides to jump down to a 250 class to more or less sandbag. That is my opinion. I want to know what your guys' are, because he's more than likely going to qualify for both. And how is he going to qualify for both? Because all you need to do is win a Supercross main event or an outdoor overall to automatically be qualified. And you have to be in the top 22 in points for the 250 and 450 class to move on. And if you're 21st to 30th, well, then you move into an LCQ and you can qualify that way. But the purse money for the finale is going to be $1 million in the 450 class and $500,000 in the 250 class. So of those 22 riders, it's going to be a pretty good paycheck. So if I just divide that by 22 in the 450 class, if they were to get equal money, it would be $45,454.54. But they haven't actually submitted the breakdown. You would assume that first place is going to get more than 22nd. So this number should be substantially lower for 22nd and substantially more, maybe in the couple hundred thousands for first. And again, it all depends on his outdoor motocross season. If he's winning the races, he's going to race a 450. If he's struggling, well, he might jump back down to the 250, especially if he won again on a 250. In closing, I'm going to go over a few things that stood out to me for this whole Super Motocross Championship, because the keynote to success is simplicity. And this is a good start for the United States and I guess motorcycle racing as a whole, because this is turning into a one sport, just dirt bike racing in general. However, I open the question that, okay, if motocross and supercross is kind of becoming a hybrid with this Super Motocross, well, do we just have one pro license where you don't have to get your Supercross license and then motocross license? It's just you have your Super Motocross license. And how does that look like for qualifying for something like that? Because as of right now, you have to do the Supercross Futures to get your license, and then in motocross, you have to do the Amateur Nationals at Loretta Lynn or do some Pro-Ams to get your points. A little convoluted there. And for Supercross, the most hype you are ever going to be is going to be Anaheim 1, because everyone's new. You got new teams. It's the Super Bowl for Supercross, at least in this series. I am ixnaying the Super Motocross because that's actually going to be the Super Bowl. But if you're just combining these two series, the last round in Salt Lake City it should be Las Vegas. It should always be Las Vegas. And arguably, even the Super Motocross World Championship should be in Las Vegas. But it's in LA, and that track map looks sick as hell. Looks incredibly dope. And for the 250 class, should they be combined together? Because truthfully, if you think about it, 250s are incredibly expensive to maintain. And if you're racing them, even if you're racing half of a series, 9 races on the West, 10 races on the East, you're probably spending as much as you would in the 450 class. And this is supposed to be the privateer class, and this whole split series thing is supposed to help the privateers. Well, the most thing that's going to help the privateers is a stock class, a simple stock class. They could get to all 17 rounds and still be under budget if they didn't have to worry about A-kit suspension and all the other mumbo jumbo that goes on to trying to compete with a 250 that has a factory ECU and makes damn near 60 horsepower. And something else that's kind of convoluted is the Triple Crown events. I really enjoy the Triple Crown events because it's more racing. It's more racing for the fans. However, the last moto is just, again, because there is no need for these guys to push the envelope. If the last moto of these Triple Crowns was triple points, like for the ending of Super Motocross, I'll get into it in just a minute, that would be more exciting. That's what they should do for these Triple Crowns. And the East-West shootouts, I just went over that. They should potentially all just be together. And talking about the Super Motocross series, it is the true Triple Crown because at the playoff round 1, it is normal points. At the second round, it is double points. At the third round, it is triple points, which means you have to do the best at the last finale, the Super Bowl, Super Motocross. That's how they have it planned out here. Supercross could learn a little bit from this deal. I think that this is going to change a bit moving forward because this is a testing year, but 31 races is awesome. And they've got a 5-year deal with Peacock. Awesome. No more Mav TV or Flow bullshit. You're going to be able to watch all of the races live, and it's going to be simple. That is probably one of the things I'm most excited about. They have a Super Motocross package that they're going to release, and that's going to help some of the other countries. I believe they said about 140 countries watch this, and I believe it's definitely going to be worth the cost as long as they can get rid of commercials. They need to have some sort of filler during the commercials of the local televised deal. If you're going to have somebody pay an extra premium for a package, you should give them some extra incentive. That's all I have. Let me know in the comments below, Jed on a 250 or 450, and in second, what you think about this whole Super Motocross. Let's banter, debate, do whatever. Keep it WFO. This is Johnny Hopper. Till next time, bro.